Howdy folks, it's time for dun 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 Scrawlrbox. If you are new to this channel, then I run behind on my Scrawlrboxes. I'm playing catch up and I think this is the November box. But let's open it up and have a look at what's inside. And the tissue paper is already open for me this time, so I don't have to worry about ripping it. Okay. Pop the menu to one side because I don't like spoilers. A sticker. A comb eraser. A Lyra pencil in 2B. A lemon sweetie, I guess. Some gouache by Taylor Rowney. This is aquafine gouache. I've never tried gouache before, so I'm intrigued. They emailed and said something was not broken in this box, but people thought it was, so I'm guessing this is it. And they also said you have to pull it apart, flip it round, and put it back together. And it's a truffle brush. And every Scrawlrbox has a featured artist of the month, so this is the print that they give you. And the artist's name is Risa-chan, and you can find her on Instagram. And the paper this month mine's a bit beaten up. It's Bockingford watercolour paper 220 GSM. And the challenge this month is a face of emotion. Alright. I'm excited to try gouache. So, howdy folks, as you can probably still tell, the voice isn't quite 100%, but it's a lot better than it was last week. So the first thing that I was going to do is swatch these, but as you can see here, the brush actually fell apart and the tip fell in my water jar. So after retrieving it and holding it back together, I was kind of wary and held the brush a lot lower down than I would normally, which was a bit uncomfortable. So after toying with ideas for Face of Emotion, literally the first thing that came into my head was like, I guess, difficult emotions and feeling bound by them, kind of like the illustration I did for my Scrawlrbox, Inktober, which was inspired by the song Delight by Disturbed. And I tried really hard to think of something else, but I couldn't, so I ended up doing that anyway. So, this is my first try with gouache. I've not tried it before. I actually have a massive set my husband got me for Christmas, but I didn't have any prior to this. So, yeah, I wasn't sure how to use them. I kind of started off trying to use them a little bit like watercolours, which is my technique of watercolours. If I'm doing a portrait, I'd put down like the pinks and the shading first and then go over the top. But I'm not sure it really worked. And well, you can see with me. I think that by the end of using them, I quite enjoyed the fact that they were both opaque and transparent at the same time. It was really quite a unique experience. I guess most people who've tried gouache for the first time have this kind of, oh, that's what it is, that's how it works. But yeah. So the piece that I'm working on, like I said, is very much inspired by the piece that I did for Inktober. And what the song says is, don't let your fears leave you blinded. And I just got this image of this person that's kind of covered up by their fears. And this representative of like the bandages in this piece. I also decided to cover up her mouth as well. So although it was Face of Emotion, you can't actually see a lot of her facial features, but I think that the emotion still stands. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you think that I managed to capture emotion without facial expression. Again, apologies for the voice, it will keep coming and going as I'm going, so bear with me. One thing that I always struggle with when using paints is actually mixing enough of the right colour. I either mix way too much or nowhere near enough. So in this case, I think I managed to get a base coat of this green, which wasn't quite the green I was looking for. I wanted more of a bluey green, but it worked fine as the base coat in the end. It kind of almost acted as a highlight. So that was quite useful, but as you can see I kind of ran out towards the end. I had to remix a bit more, but I don't know how people do it, how people mix the right amount of paint, because I certainly can't do it. But yeah, here I am trying to mix a blue or green, and it works really nicely as the shadows. But obviously gouache, like acrylic paints, dries a little bit darker than when you put it down, so it's quite dark, but I quite liked it in the end. It was weird for me as well, painting again without an outline. There wasn't a fine liner included in this, and you know I love my outlines. But I think with these paints it would have been quite difficult to paint with an outline anyway, because they are quite opaque, so you just covered up your outlines like I covered up the sketch pretty much. But what I did at the end was I went in and used the pencil as a bit of an outline, just for like the bandages and stuff I thought it needed a bit of definition. I decided to put an extra highlight in the hair anyway. At this point I toyed with the ideas of actually making the bandages black, but I don't know, there was something about when I put this background in, which was a lot of black mixed with a little bit of blue, I thought, oh, actually the bandages would kind of fade into the background. Kind of wanted them to stand out a bit more. I'm still in two minds as to whether or not they would have looked better black, but I might have to scan it in and sort of do some Photoshop tweaking to see what it would have looked like. I'm not sure. I did leave them white. Spoilers, I left them white, but I did give them a little bit of shadow and stuff, which you'll see in a second. I also decided to have her sort of crying inky tears, just because I thought it looked quite effective. So here I am putting those shadows in the bandages finally, and it kind of brings them to life just a little bit. So they're not just, I don't know, white patches left on the paper. I think it might have looked cool if I hadn't done so many kind of overlapping, like on the eyes and the mouth and stuff. I think the rest of them you can kind of tell, but I don't know, that area just looked a bit weird, I think. And then I decided to do something I've never tried before, splattering paint, which, limited success. I ended up going in manually there, as you saw. But I just wanted to give something to the background, just some speckles or something. Yes, this is me adding my version of line art, penciled line art at this stage. And then it was time to sign my name, and now almost ready for the best part, the peely bits. As usual, I've left one in real time for you. There we go. I just love seeing that sharp edge, although I didn't put my tape on too straight, so there is that. And then the rest. And so here we are at the end of it. It's not my best work, but I really enjoyed trying gouache for the first time, and I'm glad I went with my first idea because I think I was able to execute it okay. I'm definitely going to be trying these again. Like I say, I really enjoyed them. Both the fact that they were opaque and transparent, I just really liked it. And so if you enjoyed this video as well, please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below if you've ever tried gouache. And until then, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye for now.